Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Scale Stories by Helium 10. My name is Bradley Sutton. I'm from Helium 10, and I'm joined by
Kamon from AMZ Wednesday.
And we are here to help
David Mead from In Motion double my sales.
All right. And now, guys, if you're just landing on this episode in the wild on YouTube or somewhere else and you have no idea who David is or his brand, make sure to go back to our main YouTube channel or wherever you're watching this on Helium 10 and watch David's first episode where you know about his backstory and how he came across this brand and what his sales have been like. And we had an overview of everything that we were going to be doing in some of these breakout episodes with the goal, as mentioned, to 2x or even more overall is online sales. In this episode, we are specifically going to be talking about a lot of the visual aspects of a listing of your brand on Amazon. And this is something we talked about in that first episode where, he wasn't doing a terrible job. He had a lot of, pretty decent images, but some of them hadn't been updated in years. And even by the time we recorded that first episode, we had already made some changes. And but there was a lot of things he wasn't doing. Premium A+ content, brand story. Kamal thought that his images could be even better. But let me just show you guys really quick one thing. I'm not sure when you guys are watching this, but right now when we're recording this is in October. We just had the Prime big deal days pass. And something interesting, just with the changes that we've made so far to In Motion Hemp, which is we haven't even scratched the surface of all the different changes we're going to be doing. But I want to show you guys what kind of impact it's having. David and I were just talking offline about some of his sales, but here on the first day of Prime Day, now last year's Prime Day was not October 7th, but without adding any products yet that we talked about, and without doing any discount, he did not have a coupon. We did not do a discount on purpose on Prime Day because he wants to make sure that he can keep the momentum going with his inventory. And he was getting a little bit low on inventory. So he was like, let's just, keep it going with full price on Prime Day. He had $1,200 of sales, over $1,200 of sales on October 7th. Last year, October 7th, $146 of sales. All right. The previous day, October 6th, which was not Prime Day. You guys, we know that's Prime Day started on the 7th. $800 of sales compared to $150 last year. The second day of Prime Day, $700 compared to $200. So I'm feeling pretty confident about this whole plan of doubling the sales because with just the small things that we have done so far, we can see the impact that it's having. David, you're pretty happy with the results so far?
Yeah, just to give you a sense, every day, of course, I'm on looking to see how sales are going. Last year, if I didn't creep above 300, I got nervous. I wanted to be above 300, and a lot of days were half that, very few at 4. This year, just since like you say, we've started doing some things with some images and stuff. And that's why I'm nervous about my inventory. It's going faster than I can, my trend never anticipated this, so I got to catch up.
Yep. And this is the one good problem to have. There's a lot of problems that people have on Amazon. This is the good problem to have where things are flying off the shelves so much you get worried about inventory. Obviously, you don't want to run out of inventory, but I'd much rather have this as my problem as opposed to, listing gets shut down or something like that. Yep. So we're off to the good start. Now, I just found out 5 minutes ago that Kamal, you actually had been working with David offline about getting brand story on his listings, which he never had before. Talk a little bit, again, remind us, you talked a little bit about it in the main episode, but why is having a brand story important for a product page?
When I first met David, in Helium 10 studio, that's where we found out there were few things which were really important, which were missing from the listing. And one of them was brand stories. And the reason why brand story is so helpful is because it helps you make a relatable connection with the potential buyers, because here you can talk about your company, your backstory. You can, talk about, your main features as well, some of those benefits. It gives you extra real estate on your listing. And the number one benefit that I see, because if you have a brand story, then you can also make your account eligible for premium A+ content. And you can also have alt keywords in all of those brand story images, which also means you will be indexed, on those keywords, and higher potentially impressions. So there are like many benefits, but the biggest benefit I see is it will help you unlock the premium A plus content that vendors are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get that feature. But with brand story, you can get that unlocked in about a couple of weeks.
Now, I found out about this a little bit later, so I wasn't involved in the uploading of this. So let's just for all the other people out there who don't know where to go to upload the brand story, where did you instruct David, or did you upload this directly? What part of the menu here on Seller Central?
Go to advertising, and then you're going to have to go to A plus content manager.
Okay.
Click there.
Okay, so right here in A plus content manager, I can see it down here, brand story. And so would you have hit start creating A plus content?
That is correct.
And
so
then there it is right there, brand
story right in the
story.
middle.
Okay, and then so the final results, here's his hemp cream. Is the hemp cream? No, there's a hemp roll on. If you scroll down here, now we can see this big section here. Now, did you create this based on the original, like a lot of the assets that you already had from when you guys did a photo shoot? Did you use AI for any part of this? How did you actually come up with this, Kamal?
So basically, what we did was everything is coming from the research that we initially did, and also we used the assets that we had when we did the photography originally long time ago. So first thing we did, we talked about us. We talked about when the In Motion Hemp was started, and it's a USA made company. So just to establish a little bit of trust, right there, the first module is about us section. Then we talked about the unique selling point of this product, which is the two-way pain relief formula. So I think that is the unique proposition that this product has. So that is the next module. And then we talk about the ingredients. You can choose from roll-on or cream. Then we talk about active lifestyle, or for seniors, we target our customer persona once again. And the last module is about talking about made in USA, once again, just to establish that authority and the quality of the product. So this is what brand story looks like. We're talking about the main things. We could have added like few more, but this is what we have right now.
Okay, now I'm just curious. I have not uploaded this in a while, but okay, this is what I thought, because I noticed that there's a background here. So then there's a background image, I guess, that you would put that doesn't change as you move. Is that true? And then just this middle part is moving, the carousel. And these are like separate images that you're adding.
That is correct. The background image is a static banner, which is going to stay there, and you will have to design it for your mobile version and also a desktop version. So the background banner needs to be designed in two different dimensions.
Okay, cool. So now that is done, you wanted to upgrade here. This is what's called, this again, like we said, David, it's not like David's account was absolutely terrible. I mean, we already had updated the A plus content a few months ago. And this is what the A plus content, where it shows up in place of a description. And this looks good, compared to just a text description. But you were like, as soon as you saw this, you're like, you know what? We can go even better with A plus premium content. Do you have a listing out there, like of a known brand or something? I can just look up on Amazon right now just to show people what premium A plus content looks like. I'm going to search for sports research collagen. I know sometimes those guys have some good listings. Let's just take a look here. Here's their brand story.
And that's premium A plus content.
Oh yeah. So this, I think this is premium A plus content because there's a carousel up here I can do, which I don't think you can do in regular A plus content, right?
And then there's a hotspots in this module.
Yeah.
There's a hotspot as well.
I haven't seen this one before too. So there's hotspots that we can do. And what else do we have here? Oh, and then there's shoppable content.
Content. And that's
also a premium A plus content exclusive.
And there's a frequently asked questions section, which is not available.
Oh, I didn't even know this was part of the A plus content. This part right here that you're talking about?
Yeah, this is part of premium A plus content.
Very nice. I bet you things like Rufus and stuff might be able to even read this and get answers from this.
There you go.
As well. So a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff here. Now, what is like I think the requirements to be qualified, you had to have had maybe like 15 products or something like that, and you have 15 A+ content. But David only has two main products. But what's the way that people like David can qualify for premium A+ content when they don't have 15 different products?
It's quite easy. So first thing you need is a brand story, and it needs to be applied to all the active listings on Seller Central. If you have any inactive listing, you need to close that listing, but all active listings should have brand story. That is the number one requirement. And the second one, your A+ content should also be applied to all those listings, and you need to have made like changes 5 different times in the last 12 months. So what I did in David's account, so 2 of the listings, they were missing A+ content. So what I did, I applied regular A+ content to all the listings. Then I duplicated it 5 times, as you can see in the history. So you will see 5 different A+ contents approved. So I have done that. So now I'm going to have to wait for 1 to 2 weeks. Every Friday, Amazon does its like indexing thing, and we're going to see a new, premium A+ content module thing, which I can, once we have that option available, we will be able to upload the premium A+ content over there.
All right. So now, if you can share your screen, I'm curious as to your process of at least preparing, getting ready for once he does qualify for the premium A+ content, what your creative process is.
The mockup's ready. We're still working on that. So it may look like a regular A+ content to you guys, but like I said, there will be, interchangeable modules. The images will change, just like you see over here. So people will be able to scroll left and right. So that means we have additional banners, and this is going to look a lot wider. Regular A+ content looks a lot more skinnier, and this is going to look a lot more wider. And in the footer, the last, the 2 modules, which I cannot show here on the mockup, are going to be the frequently asked questions, and also it will be a comparison, chart with a roll-on and a cream, so that we can do the cross-selling as well. Those 2 modules, they are not over here, and we're going to use some hotspot modules as well, which are hard to see on the mockup, but you will be able to see that. And another thing we can do potentially is we can also add a video in the premium A+ content.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Now, obviously, we can do as David did and hire AMZ One Step to do this. But for somebody on a budget, what's the best way to have such beautiful things? Like we might not get to this level without doing it professionally, but with AI, I'm assuming that there's some ways that, some easy prompts or something where somebody could maybe just take a picture of their product and generate some of these things.